What's up, everybody, and welcome to a Labor Day special episode of Hang 10 with Quinn Kalani. I reckon you're working, so I might as well fucking put in 10 to 13 minutes of work. I mean, come on, why not? Labor Day, day to celebrate laborers. I'm not sure why it's not a national holiday. Right, neither is Election Day, so, go figure. I want to give a quick shout out to all the essential workers, those poor bastards that do have to clock in on Monday, today. If you're listening to this today, on Monday. My heart goes out to you. I've been there. I worked for an asshole that made us work on holidays. It's never fun. So, you have my respect. Salud. Those of you guys who work in social services, I know my big brother does. He works in social services. He tries to help young men, juveniles, put them on a path of straight and narrowness, path of redemption. So shout out to my big bro, baddest man on the eastern side of the Mississippi, long as I'm on the western side. Better believe it. Shout out to my sister, Sierra Halls. She works in social services. She takes care of homeless people. Noble profession. Shout out to Sierra. Shout out to Katie on Maui. She works in family services, particularly helping out children. Again, another noble profession. Shout out to KP, who is who I imagine is a lifesaver of some sort. If she ain't a nurse by now, well, she's damn well near it. So thank you, KP. Thank Uncle T.O. Drew, working at UPS, making sure we all get our packages in a timely fashion. Shout out to Double A out there, mid-Pacific, on the USS Ronald Reagan, adrift. I don't know what he's got going on. Last time I talked to him, he was just floating. Well, keep on floating, brother. And shout out to my sister. She works at a grocery store. You like Gouda? You like sourdough? Almond milk? Well, there you go. Special shout out to my best friend, my best bro, my hetero life partner, Officer Crossit, RC, the one and only. Wow, I'm rhyming. Didn't even mean to. I'm just that good. What can I say? Shout out to my brother Ryan, clocking in them hours for the Walton family. That's right, working at Walmart. Whew. The seventh circle of hell, that is. You better believe it. That's soul crushing right there. If you're at the Walmart in Hoptown, you see my brother Ryan, give him $1 like it's his birthday. Beyond that, shout out to everybody who's clocking in today on Labor Day. My heart goes out to you, and I respect you. If you're not working on Labor Day, I guess chill out, stay at home. We've already made some pretty good strides, against the coronavirus. I'm just putting it out there. Maybe hang off from going to the lake. Maybe just chill out at home, prop some brews, smoke some buds. Smoke some buds for your boy. I'm 1 month sober, better believe it. I'm feeling pretty good too. I've been getting in my miles. I run 3.5 miles 5 days out of the week. It's not a lot, but it's something. What I need to do is I need to work on my diet. That's where I constantly fall short. I got a junk tooth. Some people got a sweet tooth. I got a junk tooth. If you know anything about old San Quinn, he loves an extra large Dr. Pepper. And damn near anything could go with that. Particularly a bag of hot chips. That's what we call it in the 270. We call them hot chips. If you don't know what I'm talking about flaming hot Cheetos. Fuego hot Cheetos. They do got flaming hot Cheetos that are XXX rated. Those are crucial. I've had those before. Gnarly. Almost as gnarly as Takis. I ain't never had Takis until I moved back to California, circa 2015. Let me tell you something. The best thing about Flamin' Hot Cheetos is when you get that residual Cheeto dust on your fingers. That's the best, right? Remember that old Doritos commercial where, he like waves to somebody and someone comes up behind him and starts sucking on his fingers? I mean, come on. That's the best when you get to do it. It ain't too hot when someone else does it for you. I mean, you got to get through a whole bag of Flamin' Hot Chips to, to get those red tips. You go through a third of a bag of Takis, man, you're already there. Your fingers are looking like dog dicks. They're so red. Anyway, what else has been going on? All moved into my dorm. I'm off my phone. Back on the mic. Just chilling. Second week of school. Everything's going pretty swell. Going into my final, reckon it will be, fingers crossed, final year of my undergraduate. I'll be 29 when I'm done. 11 years late. If I had the passion of a younger man, you could call me Van Wilder. I ain't got it no more, so you might as well call me Van Milder. I'm like the Chile Verde of collegiate students. Meaning I'm best with an omelet and only good for 8 minutes in the morning. Besides that, got our fantasy football league kicked off. The Closers podcast. Fantasy football league, formerly La Liga Alvarado. That just rolls off the tongue better, I think. And it's the only year that I won the championship, the inaugural year. Kind of like the AFL. I guess that makes me the Browns. But I've maintained a measure of success throughout, unlike some other people. I really like my squad this year. I'm just gonna run through my players real quick because I think I can make a championship run. Come home with 140 clams, oysters, and cockles. Little Game of Thrones reference for you. Here's my starting lineup: Josh Allen, quarterback; James Conner, Josh Jacobs, running back. Hey, roll Tide. Shout out to Papa Reeves. Roll Tide. At wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, and the number one wide receiver in the league, especially for a PPR league, Michael Thomas. Then we got Travis Kelce, who is definitely the second rated tight end. Then at flex, we got Devin Singletary. Now, here's where it gets interesting. On the bench, I got the discount double check champ himself, Aaron Rodgers, the bad man. Security blanket. Josh Allen don't show out. Well, I know Aaron Rodgers will be consistent enough to keep me in the race. Sony Michel at running back. Now I got three receivers on my bench: John Brown of Buffalo, Marquise Brown of Baltimore, Sterling Shepard of the New York Football Giants. And then my last running back spot, I got Malcolm Brown of the LA Rams. A lot of people think Cam Akers is the starting running back. Well, he ain't the starting running back. Malcolm Brown's the starting running back. Malcolm Brown's been with the Rams for 5 years. Putting that work behind the T-God, the Todd father, Todd Gurley. Best of luck in Atlanta. Don't reckon it will be that fruitful for you, though. Kicker, I got Robbie Gould. I normally would not get a in-divisional rivals player, but the man's projected to get 120 some odd points this year, so fuck it. Sometimes you gotta put your ego aside, and you gotta pick someone up. Now, I would never, ever get someone off the Seattle Seahawks. And let me just be absolutely clear. Fuck the Seattle Seahawks. As long as I got a mic in front of me, I will say to the day that I die, fuck the Seattle Seahawks. At defense, I got your Los Angeles Rams, the best defensive line in the league, anchored by the best defensive player of the last 15 years, AA 99, Aaron Donald himself. And the word is, we're getting closer and closer to locking Jalen Ramsey down to a long-term deal. Fingers crossed, toes crossed, eyes crossed. Shoot, need that to happen, don't we? Need that. I'm needing Jalen Ramsey. So that's my fantasy football thing. I reckon the last thing I could talk about, what I got going on right now. I got me a Dr. Pepper in hand and some honey roasted peanuts. If you're from the town, the 270, and if you know me, then you know there's only one thing left. That's the mixed two. Now that might sound a little like, what? Ugh. It's called pepper nuts. It's not actually called pepper nuts, but that's what I call it. Pepper nuts. And the whole logic behind it is that you get that honey flavor in your Dr. Pepper. Let me tell you, it's fucking good. I mean, yeah, you gotta crunch on some peanuts every time you take a sip, but you get that honey drip, boy. Good. Anywho, that's about it for this week. I ain't got much to say. You know, we're still on lockdown here in Hawaii, so it is what it is, as our champion Max Holloway would say. Oh, did see this. If you ain't been in the know, apparently the sensei himself, the Stockton legend, our Lord and Savior, Nick Diaz, just completed a 14-week diet and training regimen. It's the first time he's cut weight in approximately 4 years. And this is straight from his manager, Kevin Mubanga. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, Kevin, I apologize. It says Nick wanted to do a test cut because he is keeping a close eye on the big welterweight fights coming up. He is 100% planning on fighting again and is targeting a early 2021 return. They posted a video of Nick and he is looking shredded. He's looking like a savage. And I couldn't be more excited. 2020 may be the worst year in recorded history, with the exception of, 1941. Nazis. But 2021 is looking like it might be on the up. What do we got coming up on the Closers Podcast Network? On Wednesday, we got the final episode in our 3-part series, our Colt series. Gabby the Goose is holding it down. She's going to break down Nixium for you guys. It's a new age sex cult. And let's be honest, if a cult doesn't become a sex cult, then they're really just a club with weird rules. Then I reckon, as we get to the week following this week, I'm sure me and Marco will break down week 1 of the NFL, maybe talk some fantasy football, maybe talk some other stuff too. I don't know if we have a guest lined up, but it is what it is. If we got one, then that's cool. If we don't, well, that's chill. I want to give a quick shout out to my brother Terrell, Big Ham, Breathe Heavy. He started his own podcast. Now, you may have heard me. I was on the first episode, champ. But he has a second episode out, and I just want to give him a quick shout out. His podcast is titled Let It Breathe. The Let It Breathe podcast. I'm a big fan. Terrell's a natural. Some people were born for this sort of thing. Back in the day, you could have said it was radio. Well, radio's just podcast now. So check out Terrell's podcast, the Let It Breathe podcast. It's a good time. And he's a good friend of mine. So, yeah, that's about it. 15 minutes in. Beyond that, reckon I'm get the fuck up off here. As always, stay smart, stay safe. God bless you, and adios.